What's going on, everybody? It's the NBA Guru Show. I'm Zach. This is Naf, and we're back, better than ever. Took some time off, was scouting Europe and stuff. Just taking some time. Was out for a month there, checking out the sites, seeing what's going on, seeing different perspective in life. But I'm back, better than ever, trying to be in NBA Finals mode. It's the NBA Finals, back at the perfect time, but we got some small markets in the finals here, OKC and Indiana. We're gonna go with our little NBA Finals preview. We're gonna talk some Kings table round the clock here and talk about some rumors, all that good stuff, what we think's been going on in Sacramento, and yeah, it should be a good show. Just coming back, and how you been, Naf? How was the last few weeks watching the playoffs, man?
Hey, welcome back, man. Hopefully, you found some good talent for the Sacramento because they're gonna need it. That's for sure. They're gonna need
Yeah.
whatever they can get. Playoffs past couple weeks, they weren't as good as the first couple of weeks, which were crazy.
Hmm.
There weren't any other crazy comebacks besides Game One. Knicks Pacers West Finals was pretty much besides Game Four. I think every game was pretty much double digits. So they kind of tailed off, to be honest, and which is unfortunate. But we will always remember those first 2 weeks, man. We'll always have those first 2 weeks.
It sounded like it went downhill right when I left, bro. I mean, that's what it sounds like.
Was it 2 weeks ago? No, no. You left like at the first week of the playoffs.
No, I left. I think we got the first round of the playoffs in the bag, and then second round, I think I was out. So
Oh yeah,
second round
yeah,
had some
yeah. I mean,
decent
there was
games,
crazy
but
stuff in the second round. There's still like
yeah,
the Indiana, New York. Indiana, Cleveland had some crazy games, especially the first
yeah,
couple games. Obviously the Tatum Achilles, the Knicks Celtics. The first couple of games were crazy. So there was
yeah,
still that, and then I think it was really like the sort of like the conference finals is where it's sort of tailed off.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, let's just get into it, man. Let's just talk NBA Finals. We got two small markets, OKC, Indiana. Nobody really saw Indiana coming here. OKC though was the juggernaut of the season, the one to beat, and they are in the finals. Kind of almost botched it in that Denver series, but they came through in the conference finals against the Wolves. But yeah, let's I don't know. I mean, let's just start with our picks, man. I mean, I think it is going to be an easy series, but I do think that there will be a game won by the Pacers. I'm going OKC in 5. Not much. I think the defense for OKC is going to be too much for Indiana. Their pace isn't going to be as efficient, and I don't know. I just see OKC that their advanced stats for the whole year have been insane. They've been the best team defensively, has been insane, and Shay's gonna get his way.
yeah. I think you hit it right on the head with like I think the Nuggets was pretty much the NBA Finals for OKC. To be
Yeah.
honest, was that Nuggets series specifically like Game 5 when they're down like
Mhm.
double digits going into the fourth, and then they came back and won that game, and then took a 3-2 series lead. Obviously they won Game 7 comfortably, but that Game 5 was really I think that was my question with like the Thunder was they weren't really like proven. Whether that's in the playoffs, in the regular seasons, they had obviously one of the highest point differentials in NBA history. So I
Mhm.
just think that they weren't really tested, but I think that Denver Nuggets series was like sort of like okay, now they're here. And after they won that series, I think they're pretty much. I don't really see anyone beating them, especially since I think Boston was probably going to be their toughest matchup, and then they had everything that could go wrong went wrong for them in the Knicks series.
Mhm.
So for my pick for this series is I have OKC in a sweep. I don't even think it's gonna be remotely close.
Not
I
even
think
one game. Not even
not
one
even one game. I
game.
think one game will be close. Like I think Indiana will keep it competitive in one game, but I wouldn't be surprised if there was multiple games where OKC won by double digits. I think this is going to be one of the most lopsided series we've had in a while since maybe Nets Lakers back in like 2002. Um, and yeah, I can't really think. I just don't know where the only advantage I really think like that the Pacers have is coaching, Rick
Mhm.
Carlisle. But I don't even know what Rick Carlisle can do. Like you said, OKC can Their defense is too good. They rotate quickly to everything. They can switch pretty much 1 through 5. And that's when they play Chet, especially when they play Chet at the 5. And I think Hartenstein in the second game when they played like back in March, he only played like 14 minutes. So they're willing
Mhm.
to bench Hart and just go small. And I just don't see it. I mean, like you said, the pace is pretty much what the Pacers rely on. But
Mhm.
then again, OKC has plays just as fast, so that's not going to hinder them. I think they're the youngest team actually in the playoffs, like average age of like 23, 24. But yeah, I could pull up the actually playoff pace. Yeah, actually, OKC actually has a higher playoff pace than
Oh,
Indiana.
wow.
So they're more than comfortable playing at a fast pace. I think that's just going to trouble Indiana. So I think this is going to be an easy win, unfortunately for the neutral. And I'll be rooting for the Pacers. You know, I'll say that, but I don't see
Yeah.
how they beat OKC.
I think I think the X factor is Siakam. He's got to like be like 35 to 40 a game to win to get it even just a couple games.
35 to 40.
I think
That's
so. Yes,
crazy. I agree
he
with the
has
X
to.
Factor part, but 35 to 40 is
Yeah.
insane. That's
Well, I
like
mean,
prime
well he
LeBron, like 2016, man.
I mean he had some
Like Jordan
35 games
numbers,
against.
bro.
Then he had 35 a couple of times against what or he had 39, he had 30
Did
and
he?
31. I mean, he had it close, yeah. I mean, it wasn't 35. He didn't average 35 to 40 against the Knicks, but he had 3 30-point games. He can get there. It's funny because in all the games that he scored 30 was the games that they won. But in
That's
the
why he won
losses,
Eastern
he had
Conference Finals MVP, which was, I mean,
yeah,
controversial to some people, but I
yeah.
don't mind it. I think Halliburton had some games where that's the thing with Halliburton. He's too inconsistent. He'll have like these single digit games, but yeah, it looks like he had 11 points and 9 rebounds back when they played in March. But yeah, I agree. I think Siakam is the X factor too.
I mean, yeah, 40 is probably obviously being too much, but I mean 35, I think 35, he's got to average like 35 for them to win the series or something. Like he's got to go crazy because that's like the one player that the OKCs can't like doesn't have like a really long guy like for him. I don't know, like who else would they like for iHeart if he gets benched, he probably or I don't think he's gonna get crazy minutes if he
Yeah, I
has to
don't
guard
think so.
Siakam and stuff like that. But I mean Caruso. I don't know. Is that going to be the fifth guy? Is it going to be Wiggins? It might
It'll
be.
probably be Caruso.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah,
but if they have Dort, Caruso, Williams, and Shea, these guys are all like what 6'6", 6'5".
that's a
You
long
know,
lineup.
Siakam is he's 6'8", a little bit longer guy than these guys. I don't know. Like, are they going to just try to muscle in with Dort or something? Like,
So
or
yeah, I think this is what's gonna happen. I think starting iHeart's gonna start.
yeah,
They're gonna put
see how it
Dort
goes.
on Hallie. That's what they played during the regular season. They had Dort on Halliburton. And I think they're gonna play Chet on Siakam, and they'll
Mhm.
put iHeart on Turner. I mean, this is when they start Hartenstein, and then Shea and J Dub. They'll I don't know which one of them will take Nemhard and Neesmith, but I don't think that's too much of a I mean, they'll probably switch off, but yeah, I think those two will guard Neesmith and Nemhard. But I think they'll put Chet on Siakam. At least that's how they'll start. And I
Mhm.
think that even when they put Caruso in, I don't know, maybe they'll shift Chet and put him on Miles Turner. And I mean, he's pretty small for Miles Turner, but Miles Turner, yeah, I don't know what they can really do if they do play Caruso. I think they'll maybe they might put Dort on Siakam, like you said, or put Dort on like, yeah, I don't know. So I don't know what, but that's I think that's how they'll start. So I mean,
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what they do when they put Caruso in, how that will shift, or maybe they just match iHeart's minutes with Turner's. They could do that maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, it'll be interesting how they go. I think they're gonna play around with it too and just see what works. They have so many. Their depth is so good that they could just play around with it. Um, Even Jalen Williams can be decent, like to throw at Siakam. Um, I mean, just that I don't know if he's gonna be as quick as them. The not Santa Clara one, but Arkansas Jalen Williams. He's 6'9",
Yeah,
probably a
he's
little bit
big.
bigger. Yeah, a little bit bigger. I don't know if he can keep up, but they'll probably throw him at Siakam and try to test him out. Um, and yeah, like
Yeah,
maybe Dort can buff him up as well. I mean, he's got the size, but not the length. So I mean, they got a
yeah,
few guys that they could throw at him. So but the Siakam does have a little bit of advantage over OKC that they got to really lean on.
yeah. And I think that Siakam, the thing with Indiana this series is like, so OKC, their transition defense is better than the Knicks because the Knicks, they played that double big lineup with Cat and Mitchell Robinson. So they were crashing. They had heavy emphasis on offensive rebounding, whereas
Hmm.
OKC they don't really crash the boards like that. They don't play that or well their offensive rebounding percentage isn't as high. I think it's like one of the lowest actually in the playoffs. So I think that that's going to impact Indiana. They're not going to be able to play at the fast pace that they usually do, where they usually get a shot off and or get into their offense with like 22, 21 seconds on the shot clock. So I think that's where you really need Siakam because they're going to be forced to play in more like half court offense. And I think Siakam is probably their best half court offensive player, just ISO ball. He has obviously the experience playing in NBA Finals. He's the only player I think on the Pacers that's been there. So I think that's
Yeah,
why I think I have him as an X factor because I think that they're really gonna like slow down, and then they're also gonna pick up Halliburton full court, which you didn't really see the Knicks do. They weren't really like pay
yeah,
their
they don't
they
got
weren't
someone
really.
to do that.
Yeah, yeah, they're definitely going to pick up Halliburton full court. So I think that will slow them down. So that's why I think it's just going to be a long, long series for Indiana. They're not going to be able to play at the pace they want, and they don't really have that half court besides Siakam. I don't really see what they could do on offense, to be honest. Like you said, OKC is just too long on defense. They rotate to everything quickly.
Mm.
I mean, you could just tell by like the trouble they gave Minnesota, and Minnesota has I think much more offensive firepower than this
Yeah.
Pacers team, at least in terms of like isolation and people getting their own buckets. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they could do on a. This is going to be a very very challenging for Rick Carlisle.
Yeah, it's the Pacers, they have good pace and they try to pass the ball a lot quickly. They kind of do play like the Spurs in 2013, 2014. They just keep passing it really quick. They try to get in the offense quick. They
Yeah.
don't really try to shoot the ball quickly. It's not like a 7 seconds or less type thing, but they just get into the
Mm-hmm.
offense very
Into the
quick and just
offense,
like,
right?
yeah, do a lot of pick and rolls as soon as they can, a lot of flares as soon as they can. They do all that stuff. And like you said, OKC has a good counter for that because they're so good switching off screens, being quick, small guys with length that can hinder all those quick actions. It will be tough. I agree with you. Carlisle's got, I don't know what he can really do to test this out.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I really even maybe. I mean, I'm just trying to think of other X factors for this team. Obi Toppin's got to be averaging like 15 or something or 20 or
Obi
something, man.
Toppin 15. Well, they are deep. They do play like 10, 11 players, which is pretty rare for the playoffs. But
Yeah,
I mean, these playoffs they've been playing everyone. They've been playing. Jarris Walker just got hurt. He even been getting a lot of minutes. So TJ McConnell, obviously, like you said, Obi Toppin. They have a
yeah,
deep bench. Shepard plays a lot of minutes off the bench. Obviously, Benedict Mathurin. So their bench is almost like 5 players deep. But I think like maybe just one of those players just has to absolutely go nuclear. But I don't see that happening against this OKC defense, like
yeah,
you said. And I just don't think they have that talent to do that off the bench. So yeah, I think their path to like winning games, I think they just have to like pretty much everything has to go right. Like they have to like win the turnover battle. They have to score more points off turnovers, score more points in the paint, just score more threes. Like like it pretty much has to be
yeah,
like a
yeah,
perfect storm for them to even like win games. So I think all that has to happen at once. That's kind of how like when Minnesota blew out OKC, that's pretty much how they did it. Like
yeah,
they were just swarming them. They're winning. They're just everything was like it was almost like how OKC plays. They were just smothering them on defense. Everything was a turnover. All the threes were falling. I mean, just like the perfect storm, and it kind of just has to be that. But that's going to be very hard to do versus this OKC team. Maybe it might happen one game, so maybe that's why a lot of people I know a lot of I think OKC in 5 is actually the favorite in
Yeah,
terms of like
probably.
Vegas odds and stuff. Yeah, no, I think OKC winning in 5 is the favorite. So yeah, maybe it will happen one game in Indiana, but yeah, it has to be just like a perfect storm, or like you said, just maybe one player just having an absolutely historic NBA Finals for that to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of those longer guys that OKC, that Indiana has, like the Siakam, the Obi Toppin. I mean, Obi
Yeah,
Toppin had some pretty bad, I mean, not bad, but he had 8 points, 4 points, 8 points, 5 points. But in the last two games, he had 11 and 18. So he's got to average like 15 or something, or like 12 to 15 for them to have a decent chance at getting a couple games. So,
yeah, maybe not
yeah,
him
it's
or just
going to be
like
tough.
anyone off the bench, like even if it's like Benedict Mathurin or just someone.
Yeah. Man, but I
But
just like we've been saying, I just think all those small, the 6'5" guys, like they're gonna be so good on the 6'4", 5" guys that Indiana has. They're just gonna be so quick for to guard their actions, all those guys. But the 6'9" guys have at least a little bit of a length over um, some of the guys. But I guess they could throw even the Arkansas Jalen Williams on Obi Toppin. Like that's actually a decent matchup. So
yeah, they have guys
okay,
to
so
throw out
they have
Obi
yeah.
Toppin. I mean, yeah, even like Aaron Wiggins coming, like Cason Wallace is a really good defender coming off the bench.
Yeah,
So like it's even on their bench, just coming off the bench, they have a lot of guys. So yeah, I don't think
it's gonna be tough.
it's
It's
gonna be
gonna be
tough. I
tough.
guess like one thing that Denver, I'm surprised Minnesota actually didn't do this. That Denver did is they played Denver played a lot of zone defense, which kind of worked.
Yeah,
Because like OKC's half court offense isn't the best. I mean, they don't have really like besides Shea's like the guy that can really go like 1-1-1 and get a bucket, but like they don't really have shooters around Shea. Lou Dort is someone that you can like sag off of like a lot of the time, and you saw teams doing that. So maybe they go zone. They did pay. It looks like they played the 11th. Indiana played the 11th most zone defense in the regular season, but they
yeah,
haven't utilized it yet in the playoffs. So, and it did work for the Nuggets in that series. So, if I'm Rick Carlisle and nothing's working, you might just have to try to.
yeah.
I know just to try something different. Try to use a complex zone or something and just force them to shoot, force Chet to shoot, and just force like maybe Dort to shoot. Maybe Jalen Williams can be inconsistent shooting. Take the ball out of Shea's hands. Maybe that's a pathway. Hopefully, maybe the lights are too bright for these young guys, and just hope they miss. So, yeah, I mean, in terms of yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, I think that's pretty much the only way
I
they
mean, yeah,
can
yeah,
win
yeah. I
it
agree. Yeah, that's just to give them a chance because I actually think the Kings did that a couple times during the season, but
versus OKC.
yeah, I think but the OKC has been shooting super bad from three in the postseason. Like they've been
Hmm.
shooting terrible. Like Shea's shooting 30%.
Yeah,
Chet's shooting 33, Jalen's shooting 32, Crusoe's doing pretty good with 41, but Dort's 30, Wiggins 32, Kaysen's 32. I mean, they've been pretty
just force
bad.
them. Yeah, maybe force them to like live and die by the three. I think they shot better, and I think that they were the first two rounds was really where they weren't shooting that well. I think they shot better against Minnesota, but
Yeah.
except for game three where they got blown out, and even game four where they barely won. I don't even think they shot that well either. So, like you said, they're not the best 3-point shooting team. So maybe you just have to pray they miss their
Yeah.
threes and they fall in love with the three. I know that's not their style, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, the three yeah, that's a good point. The three-point shooting has gotta be like, OKC's gotta be keep being bad at threes for because the postseason, they have been doing it, and, if they keep shooting poor from 3, then Indiana maybe I mean, that's likely but the OKC defense is still gonna be so good on Indiana, so it's
Yeah,
gonna be tough, like, they gotta figure out their offense too, like, I don't know how they're
yeah,
gonna
that's the thing. Like, Indiana likes to hunt on offense too. I mean, and they were hunting Cat a lot last series,
Mhm,
but you're not going to be able to really hunt anyone on OKC.
yeah,
So that
no,
pretty much takes that game plan away. Lou Dort during the regular season absolutely locked up Halliburton. I think Halliburton had like 4 points and like 3 assists in one game. Let me see. I think I have it here. Yeah, Halliburton had no, this was yeah 3 assists in the second game. So
Mm,
Lou Dort absolutely hounded him, and then yeah, unlike sort of like the inverse, I guess like they'll probably put Nemhard on SGA, and they'll probably put Siakam on Chet and turn on iHeart. So that'll probably all be the same. And then they'll
yeah.
try to probably hide Hallie since he's their worst defender on Lou Dort,
Mhm.
I'm assuming.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
for sure.
yeah, yeah, and then just sort of maybe force Lou Dort just sag off, play help defense, and then Neesmith on J Dub. So
I will
yeah, I
say that
mean
Indiana's defense is like slightly underrated. Like
yeah,
everyone just talks about the offense for Indiana,
that's
but
true. They do have
like
length too.
they have, yeah, they have like four like their starting lineup. They have four good like decent defenders, right? They got
Yeah.
Turner's a good defender, Siakam's good, has length.
Hmm.
Nemhard and Naismith, I don't know, they're like decent, right? So
Yeah, they are.
Tyrese is the guy that is
Tyrese is a
the
guy that they'll probably
yeah
hide.
yeah.
Turner did have a
So
bad defensive series versus Cat was cooking him last round.
that's true. That's
So
true.
that, but he is usually no, but he is known to be like a 3 and D like big. So
Yeah.
Cat Cat is actually probably would probably be like the second best ISO player on this OKC team. So I
Mhm.
mean, it's not a bad thing. The problem with Cat was his defense was atrocious. So that's
Yeah.
why he was like unplayable. But yeah, I think this is gonna be a sweep. But I think OKC is gonna sweep. I think they'll win at least 2 games in double digits pretty
Yeah.
easily. Probably 3, to be honest. And I think one game will be close. And I think that's the game that Indiana has to. I mean, if Indiana, I really hope Indiana can make it a series. I hope they win, but I just don't. I don't see it. I think this is going to be lopsided, and I think this is going to be the third straight finals where, unfortunately, it's a little uncompetitive. I mean, last year we had what Dallas versus
Boston.
Boston, which was what 5 games, right? So that was
Yeah.
uncompetitive, and then
Was it
um
5? Was it 5 in Miami, Denver?
5 in Miami versus Miami versus Denver. I mean, Miami absolutely did everything they could to beat Boston. So I think Boston Denver would have been more competitive. So unfortunately, I think this is a third straight
My
year. But
God.
it's good to see it's good to see the small market teams in it. You know, Sacramento is going to be did play a part in the in this final. So they
Even
have that
22. Even 22 wasn't that I remember 22 being
Warriors.
pretty boring. Yeah, I don't know, it was like a 6 it was 6 games. I think it was Warriors Boston and it
Yeah,
went
six
to
games.
6, right? But I don't
Yeah,
remember like any close games. Like I can't remember like one good game from that series. Like I
yeah.
don't know, like
No,
was there even a close game or something? Like I have to look at uh
I don't know.
the
I think that series was just like fun, just because I think Celtics were up 2-1, and then the Warriors won 3 in a row, and then Curry had that like explosion in Game 4.
yeah.
So they at
But yeah,
least
none of
had
the
like
games.
what they weren't right.
No, so one like the Celtics won by 12 first game, then
Yeah,
game 2 Warriors win by 19. Then Boston's
mm,
up 2-1, they win by 16. Then it's game 4, Warriors win by 10, so it's 2-2.
yeah.
Then Warriors are up 3-2 because they won by 10 in game 5, and then they won by 13 in the sixth game.
All
So it's like
every game was
all
double digit.
every game was double digits, dude.
What? Damn,
So this
we're
is
overdue, man. This is getting. I guess 2021 was Milwaukee versus Phoenix. I mean,
yeah,
that one was
that one at
pretty. That
least
one
had
was
a moment.
decent. Yeah, that one at
Yeah,
least had like an NBA
the
Finals
alley-oop.
moment, man.
Yeah, they had an
Like
alley-oop that
they
was
had the alley
memorable.
oop. Giannis dropped 50 and like a decider.
Yeah,
It's like, man, we're kind of like we're overdue. Hopefully, we're overdue for like a Game 7, like 6, 7 game finals, man. I
yeah.
don't think it's gonna be this year though. Maybe next year we might have to wait a whole nother year, unfortunately.
Well, if
But
the
I don't think it's
OKC
gonna be
keep
this
this
year.
up, man, they're gonna be a
Huh?
juggernaut for a while. If the
OKC,
OKC,
yeah.
yeah, they're gonna be a juggernaut for a while if they're like this.
They got Topic coming back next year too. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
like
that's that's nasty. But I guess
they are set for 10 years.
I don't know. The problem is the East, bro. The East is just disgusting, man. Especially now that
Yeah,
Tatum's not going to be there next year. I mean,
yeah.
it's absolutely like it's literally like just the Knicks and I don't even know Indiana, I guess, in the
And it'd be
Knicks and
crazy if
Cleveland.
If Giannis leaves.
Oh my god, if
Some
Giannis leaves the East, they have to like do like a 1 through like 16 just for next year or something, man. Like
yeah.
bro. I don't know
They gotta
what the
start
East is
considering
like.
it.
Yeah, the East is like been
It's
so
getting
bad.
unfair.
It's
Yeah,
always
East
been like
is.
this though.
Yeah.
You would think like eventually, like just like tables would turn, like the East would get some. Like Cooper Flag is going to the West too now, so it's like, man, just
Yeah, it's
absolutely a nightmare.
I think well they've been getting saved in the finals because the Bucks won in 21.
Mm,
Boston's won in
Boston.
last year. So it's like
Boston
they're
was like
winning
the
these
only one
championships.
where it's like, yeah, Boston was like the one team where it's like, okay, if they can make it out of the East, they can make like a competitive finals, but
Now that I'm
nah.
just thinking about it, we got 19 was Raptors, 21 was Bucks, 23 no, it doesn't. It's the 24. Never mind. I thought it was
24
on
was oh, you thought
Boston.
24 was
Yeah.
Boston. Yeah. Yeah, I'm telling you, Boston like saves that conference, man. And now
Yeah.
they don't have Tatum, so it's like it's you could really like see the holes in the conference now. So it's just
Yeah, it's
nasty,
we'll see what
nasty.
happens. We both think it's gonna be an ugly series and OKC wins it by a mile, but we'll
Yeah,
see it. Let's talk some Kings here before we get out of here. We
yes,
got some
sir.
good not really any good honestly, it's Kings news has been just Tyrese news, and like
Yeah,
everything that's it's been depressing. I've been following all the Kings media. They just talk about the past, how the Kings have gotten rid
trades.
of Tyrese and Fox, and just going back to all
Yeah.
the dreadful trades and
Let's pump the brakes
transactions.
on LaMelo and John and Zion trades
Yeah,
because I mean I see this on Twitter like all the time. Like Kings fans are like doing like LaMelo and Ja and Zion trades. I'm like it's not happening, man. Like
it's not
first of
happening.
all, they're not gonna go there. Like why do you want them? It doesn't even fit the Kings timeline. I don't know, man. Like I don't understand it. I guess they just want something. It's a slow news cycle for the Kings. Obviously, they just need something to talk about. But yeah, let's stop with the fake Zion and
Yeah.
John LaMelo
Well,
trades. I mean, we did one. We did a Zion trade a while ago, but
the Kings don't have any like assets to get these
yeah,
guys. They it's Lamelo would be a crazy. You got to give up a ton of stuff for that.
yeah,
Uh, Ja, you gotta give up a
that's
decent amount. I mean, Zon, maybe you can pay a little bit less because of all the news and stuff on him. You can buy low a little bit on this guy a little bit, but the rest of the guys, I heard some interesting trades and rumors here. Well, we'll start with the Tyus Jones one. Tyus Jones to the reports saying Kings are interested in Tyus Jones. He's 29 years old, point guard, plays it decent. He's more of like a backup, but Kings are pretty need a point guard pretty bad for him. I mean, what do you think of the Kings getting him? I personally think like they should go young for point guard. I mean, we've said it. They should rebuild and throw this whole thing in the fire and trade everyone, get some young players. Tyus, I don't think follows that guide, for what we want. But I mean, he's a decent player and facilitator. But I don't know. Would you rather have like a younger guy and kind of just take a risk there?
yeah. Look, like you said, we've been saying blow it up. It doesn't look like this regime is going that path. It looks like they're gonna try to compete and absolutely like we just talked about stacked West, which is absolutely ridiculous. How are you gonna compete in this Western Conference? Like I have no idea what they're doing. We got on here. I trashed the Scott Perry hire. The whole process was a joke. Tyus Jones for me, it's an irrelevant move. It doesn't move the needle. Honestly, I don't like the move because it takes minutes away from Devin Carter and Keon Ellis. So if you're making moves where you're taking minutes away from those guys, I get you want to compete, and I get you're probably going to keep Zach Levine, and I don't know what's going on with DeMar. I think DeMar's the one guy they could probably trade this summer just because his salary isn't like Zach Levine's salary is absolutely insane.
Yeah,
Um,
that
at
should be a
least
lock.
at least DeMar you can trade, and a new team can maybe stretch out his 24 million so that it's not too hard on their books. Domas is just hard in terms of Domas. It's his salary, and it's just hard to find a fit for him. So I mean, it just looks like
Yeah,
I think Domas and Zach Levine will probably be on the roster on opening night. So I guess Tyus Jones does make sense then since they're gonna try and compete, but I mean, if it was me, like this whole thing is just from the beginning, just in terms of losing out on your draft pick this year, it's just been an absolute disaster class by this organization. Honestly, like you cannot
it's
have
the
made
same
any worse
thing.
decisions. It's the same thing. Look at the two teams in the finals we just talked about. OKC and Indiana. Two small market teams. Why can't that be Sacramento? I mean, hell, Sacramento had Tyrese Halliburton, and they traded away for Domas for not, and they haven't even won a playoff series. So yeah, people
Yeah.
can stop calling that a win-win trade. I know a lot of Sacramento fans like to call that a win-win trade, but
It's not
I
even
think you need to
close.
stop calling it. Yeah, it's not even a debate. Like, stop calling it a win-win trade.
I think I saw some stat where Tyrese has won like 20 playoff games in the last 2 years, and the Kings have won like 18 playoff games in the last like 22 years or something. Something like
Wow,
that, where
that's
it's
insane.
yeah,
I
it's
mean, he's won like
ugly,
what
ugly
five,
stuff.
6 playoff series, and the Kings haven't even won one since the deal. So yeah, I mean, stop. Let's stop calling that Domas Tyrese trade a win-win.
I will say one thing just to defend that. I mean, I don't like defending this, but I gotta say it. The East is a lot easier than the West. I gotta say
Yeah,
that.
for sure.
That's the
Yeah, yeah,
only
yeah, for sure. We just
yeah.
talked about. I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously they traded the wrong point guard. They should have kept
Mhm.
De'Aaron. I mean, sorry, Tyrese, and traded De'Aaron. Especially, I think that deal was before the new CBA, maybe. But with the new CBA and Tyrese was on a rookie deal, they definitely should have kept Tyrese. And Tyrese was happy to be in Sacramento. You know, he
Oh yeah,
embraced being in
he loved it.
Sacramento.
Yeah.
He loved being in Sacramento. Exactly. So I mean, like, I don't know, man. The problem is it would have been fine, honestly, if they got something for De'Aaron Fox, but to
Yeah.
just move off De'Aaron Fox like 4 years later and just get absolutely nothing for him just makes the trade even worse. So yeah, I mean, yeah, just bringing it back to Tyus Jones, it doesn't really do anything for me. I mean, people have been
Yeah.
talking about Tyus Jones being underrated for years now. I mean, the Phoenix Suns needed a point guard. Didn't really end up helping them out. Don't get me wrong, I think he's a decent player, but I don't know. Just to me, it just doesn't move the needle at all. Like I don't know. If I'm the Kings, like you have to bottom out next year. I mean, they're not even going to have a choice in the Western Conference.
Yeah.
So I think that this is a team that's going to be forced to tank. They might not on opening night. They might say they're going to compete. They might come out with a competitive starting five, but I think by like January, February, they're going to be down at the bottom of the West. I mean, to be honest, I can't even name a West team like that would finish like. Who do you think they'll finish
Worse.
above? Like Portland? I mean,
No, I don't
you
even
think
think Portland. I think the only
you
one
think
maybe is
Portland is
Utah.
better?
I think just
Utah?
Utah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's so they could be like
I think
14th in
Portland
the
could be
West.
better.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Portland does have good pieces. They actually were competitive too. They almost made the play in this year. So
Yeah. That's
yeah, I
true.
mean
That's a good point.
the Kings made the
Uh,
play in this year, but that's not going to be the case next year. I mean, even the Mavs
no.
with Cooper Flag and AD, and they'll probably get a point guard. I mean, Kyrie will be out for
I
a few
mean,
months.
it just depends. So I mean, there's we can already name 10 teams better than the Kings:
Yeah, that's the
OKC,
thing.
Houston, Lakers, Denver, Clippers,
Yeah, all
Wolves,
better.
Warriors, Grizzlies, Mavericks will be better, and
Yeah,
Spurs will be better.
Spurs will be better for
Uh,
sure.
yeah, so that's already like 10 teams. The only okay, so the ones that are iffy, Phoenix, if they like
Oh, right.
to blow
Phoenix might
everything
they'll
out,
trade Durant. Yeah,
maybe. Pelicans, if like they're just I don't know, shit show. I
yeah,
don't know, like,
and Utah.
I think Utah is like the lock one, but
Mm,
yeah, I mean, I think the Kings won't have to try too hard to get there, so that's at
yeah,
least some bright side.
that's true.
Um, but
So
speaking of Sabonis
yeah,
and stuff, um, I did see in some rumor where there was three Kings players in some odds that they would go to the Raptors. So Sabonis was plus 500. I'll find the other odds, but DeMar and Levine were rumor had odds to go to the Raptors. What do you think about that? Would you want from the Raptors for those players? Or who do you like from the Raptors in general that we can get? Like, do you like
like Jakob Pertl, isn't Jakob Pertl on an expiring, or isn't
uh
he? I think he's someone that the Raptors have been talking about dealing. And maybe
for a
like
while?
Emmanuel quickly.
Yeah, so quickly is 32 million and Yakub is 20.
So
And
those two for
Sabonis is
like
the
Sabonis, or
44.
Sabonis is
The one
44.
Yeah, so Yakub is 20, RJ Barrett's 28, quickly is like 32 and a half. Um, it'll be Sabonis and like one of the smaller,
Filler.
yeah, filler like Isaac Jones or whatever
Look,
for RJ.
yeah. I would do that for Sabonis. I don't. I mean, I've spoken about Sabonis. I think he's empty calories.
Yep.
He's just negative stat, negative winning impacting player. So I would do it for Sabonis. I don't understand like DeMar back to Toronto or Levine back to Toronto. I don't understand why Toronto would do these deals. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe for one of them, but I don't see them getting two of them. I know there was just report about them trying for Giannis, right?
Hmm.
So I know he has that connection with Masai
Yeah.
Ujiri.
Yeah.
So maybe this is their backup plan if that Giannis, if they're not able to get Giannis, or maybe they want to pair Giannis with um one of them. So and just go all in the Eastern Conference because they see that there's this opportunity next year in the East because the East is going to be absolutely wide open
That's
next
true.
year.
Yeah.
So they might do that, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would take if I'm the Kings, I would take Jakob Pertl and Emmanuel. I would just try to get off the bonus. I mean, but then again, like you said, they're kind of expensive, and Emmanuel quickly just signed a long deal, so maybe not. I mean, it might not help the
Hmm.
tank. So I don't know. I would have to think about it
If we can get quickly, that'd be great. We need a
because
point
quickly's
guard. He's
young, right?
25. Yeah, and he's young, so that'd be a pretty cool.
But I think Pertl's older. That's the problem with Pertl.
Yeah, Kuba's 29.
Yeah.
He has 20 millions for 2 more years.
That's not
Um,
a bad contract.
yeah, it's not bad. I don't know why, like I don't know why the Raptors would want to trade a Quickly or a Barrett for Sabonis, like unless
Yeah,
they
that's the
really
thing.
like Sabonis. I guess is a decent floor. Maybe might raise them to playoffs or something in next year. I can see it.
You
But
said
man,
they're
like,
all wait, what did you say the odds are? Sabonis is plus 500? Or like they're all plus
yes.
500 or like they're all favored to go to the Raptors?
Let me find see if I could find the
Yeah,
the,
I don't
the
know why the
Twitter.
Raptors would do that. I mean, that's the problem with like trading Sabonis. Like you have to find a team that like fits his niche play style. The only team I can really think of that like maybe like the Warriors would like the Warriors could fit, but the Warriors can't trade for Sabonis. They don't have the contracts to make that work unless they trade like I think Jimmy Butler, but they're not going to trade Jimmy Butler for Sabonis. Oh, there we
Here's
go.
uh here's the
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh wow. So it'll probably just be one of them. Um, man, if they get Giannis, that would be scary.
I just can't believe Zach's at 600 and 800 for DeMar. Levine's
I
600,
don't see
DeMar's 800.
Demar.
That's pretty high. I
That is
mean,
pretty
I don't know.
high.
Like Sabonis is plus five. That's five, like 20% chance. I don't know.
Yeah, that is pretty high. But yeah, like you said, I don't know what the package would be. Maybe like RJ and quickly.
Oh, Matthew
Um,
wants KD for Sabonis.
KD doesn't want to go to Sacramento, man.
Yeah.
KD is pretty much can almost pick where he wants to go. I think he's
Yeah,
going to San Antonio. There was that
San
report today,
Antonio's,
right?
yeah, that's where he's leaning, it looks
I
like.
think, but they're trying to. They're the Suns want to trade him to the Rockets just because the Rockets I think have more assets to
Well, more
give.
access, yeah. I mean, Spurs should have a bunch of assets since they didn't have to give up any for the Fox one.
Yeah, no, pretty. The Spurs would be
Spurs
scary
got plenty
with
of good assets.
Fox, KD, Wemby, and the number two pick. That would be
That's Fox made the right
interesting.
decision.
You did. He did.
But yeah, plus 500. So yeah, I mean, if the Kings can somehow, some way get an RJ Barrett or a Quickly back in the trade, I think that's a
Yeah,
W. I think that's a
for
big time
sure.
W.
You get younger. You get off the
Yeah.
bonus.
I
I,
think that would be great for the Kings if they can somehow snag some similar like another younger guy. They have like what Jamal Sheed. They got Jonathan Mogbo, like a 6'9" guy.
the
That's
Kings
young.
drafted Jamal Shed, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's funny.
um they have Jacoby Walter. I don't think they'll get rid of him this soon, but
I think to get
uh,
Giannis, they would have to trade Scotty Barnes.
yeah, yeah, for
Right.
sure. I think that'd be the
But I think
mantelpiece.
for Sabonis, like you said, like maybe like I'm putting in the trade machine. So like yeah, RJ Barrett and quickly is 60 million outgoing. And like you said, Sabonis is 43. So maybe like I don't know. So it would have to be like yeah, like you said, Sabonis and like I don't think they would trade. Would you do Sabonis and Malik Monk for quickly and
Uh,
Barrett? Oh,
I
Isaac
just did a
Jones.
quick one. I just did
Okay.
Isaac Sabot for RJ and Yakub. I mean, if you're the Kings, do you do that?
What's
Do you do this trade?
if I can't
Or
get
is it
anything better for Sabonis and this is like my only offer, I do it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
absolutely do it. If I can't get anything better than to get Sabonis off the books, I absolutely do this deal. I
Yeah,
mean, RJ Barrett and Jakob Pearl will be expiring next year, so they'll even if it doesn't work out, they'll have value. So you could always
yeah,
just flip them. You could probably honestly get more for them next year than you could get for Sabonis. Um,
yeah, that's true, that's true.
so yeah,
Um, it's not bad. It's not like the worst trade. Like, I'm not gonna be pissed if it happens. Um, it'd be nice if we get like a little kicker or filler in there, but like another young player, like I don't know, Jamal or Mogbo or something. But I
yeah,
think I wouldn't if that's like the foundation. That's not bad. Matthew saying you saw the MPJ rumor. Yeah, we even had this discussed like what 4 5 5 weeks ago, where we
yeah.
said MPJ
You
for
called it,
Levine.
man. MPJ
We
for
said
Levine
we said it was like
swap. You
six,
want
yeah,
MPJ
6 weeks.
Levine swap, right?
Yeah. And now, man, like
MPJ,
I
man.
think I
MPJ
said
had
it.
a wild playoffs, man.
Yeah. I mean, I said I'd do it in a heartbeat before.
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
disagreed. I said that I would rather have Levine.
Yeah. Now I
But
might
that's because of
I
the
don't know.
injuries. That's because of MPJ's injury history.
Yeah.
But MPJ did
It's
have some good
interesting.
moments in these playoffs where he fought
Well,
through
he was
like
up
his
and down. He
shoulder.
was up and down, right?
Yeah, yeah, he was totally inconsistent, like literally unplayable. He had to get benched in crunch time. But he was playing with a hurt shoulder on his left shoulder, so he did
Yeah,
fight through
yeah.
that. Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, if you can't get anything better for Levine, then I guess I wouldn't mind it, but because you do get at least younger in that trade, um, and just
yeah, you
hope and
do.
pray that he doesn't get hurt and have his back stuff pop up again. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
What did you think about the did you have any thoughts on the assistant coaches hiring since you haven't been on since with like Bobby
I mean,
Jackson and
we had
Mike
what Bobby
Woodson?
Jackson, Mike Woodson. I think I saw Mike Miller's on the Kings now.
Yeah.
Uh, those three, and I mean, it's not bad. Like, I mean, it's good. We got Mike Woodson. He's like, he's been in the league forever. That's a good one. Mike Miller. I'm not too informed on his history. I think he's fine. Bobby Jackson's a pretty good assistant. I like him.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm not. I don't really care for the assistants, man. Just make sure we got the good players and go from there and see what happens. But
So you do you like
I
the
don't know.
Tyus Jones? What's your opinion on the Tyus Jones rumors?
Haas, I don't like it. He's a little bit older. I don't think he's doing it. It just goes with a timeline that we're just trying to maintain like some like if you're gonna do that, just get young and just go with it. Because even if you get Tyus Jones, you're still gonna be like the 12th best team in the West. At least
Yeah.
if you're you get a young
It's not it
player.
literally won't move you like
Yeah.
move your position in the West. They probably won't even like add like what one win if that.
Yeah, so if you get a young player, at least like you're developing, you get a higher ceiling in a few years and just go that way, develop them. I've been hearing reports on Lonzo Ball to Sacramento Kings are interested in him. I wouldn't mind that just to see. He's still young, and I don't know, like I liked him. I like his game. He's a very good defender and very good
Good point
facilitator.
guard.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so
Good playmate, good facilitator, like you said. I mean, it's a risk worth taking,
yeah,
depending on what you get him for. I mean, obviously, it probably isn't going to be much, but yeah,
right,
my only thing is like it would just take away from Keon Ellis, Devin Carter's development. But
yeah,
that's my problem with
yeah,
like
that's
the
true.
Tyus Jones like signing. But I mean, it makes sense since they're trying to compete.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, King we'll have more rumors coming up in the next few weeks, probably after the finals. And I don't know if the Kings will try to get more draft picks somehow, but we'll see if they do anything like that. But free agency's coming up. Going to be a lot more news for everyone for the Kings. Trades. Even Chance has been reporting that this is going to be a crazy, crazy summer. A lot of changes. So you never know. I mean, I still have slight like a five. just seeing the Sabonis rumor of him going to Toronto and maybe getting something decent back, like a Barrett or quickly, that just gives me a
That's some
tiny bit of
hopium.
hope.
That's some hopium.
Yeah, yeah. So,
some hope.
so I mean,
Some hope for a
uh,
dreadful Kings off season so far.
yeah.
This can't get any
Just
worse, man.
I
That
think
would be
like
good though. That would be
yeah, that
good.
would
Like
be
if we
good,
could
and
get
just
like Barrett or quickly or something.
yeah, and just like at least show us that you're gonna go younger. I think that's like the first thing. Commit that we're gonna try to rebuild and not
Yeah,
try to
that's the
play
thing.
this like
Scott Perry hasn't really made a move yet. Like, I don't think
yeah.
he's made any move yet. So like, I don't even think they've signed like Keon Ellis. Still waiting on that
Oh yeah. And
extension.
extending
Yeah,
Keegan's gonna be another thing as well.
Keegan's another one. So I mean, they have some big moves to make this summer, and the draft is coming up in like 20 days. So I
Yeah,
mean,
it's about
I
to
think
come up
KD is
quick.
expected to be traded before then too. So it's gonna be a wild summer in the NBA.
Yes, sir. Matt's saying he saw the Lonzo and DeMar. Yeah,
What's
there's
the
a lot of
post?
Bulls West.
Reddit post
I don't
with
know.
Lonzo and Demar and Levine. Oh, on the same. Oh, Lonzo, Demar, Levine in Sacramento.
Yeah, yeah, I'm guessing that, and he probably has thrown in
Probably some
Vooch into
insider or
something.
like some rumors. I'll have to check that out.
But yeah, appreciate it. We're gonna be back. We're gonna continue doing most likely 2 shows a week. Appreciate you guys coming through here. Gonna be back. Gonna be here for the whole summer. Gonna be talking NBA basketball. Gonna be talking Sacramento Kings, and we'll see you guys for the next show. So keep in touch, subscribe, and we'll be on.